When you first start an HTML document, there is a basic structure that you must have in every page so that it can be properly displayed in a browser. Now, if you're in Dreamweaver and you start a new page, it automatically adds that basic structure for you, and then you just need to start adding your own content. However, if you're in a different editor, it may or may not do this structure for you. So in my index.html, I've deleted all of that code so that we can do it from scratch and we can kind of talk about it along the way. So the first thing that every document needs to have is it needs to define what type of document this is. So for us, we're going to be working in HTML5, and HTML5 as of this video is the latest version of HTML. It has a ton of extra features, but it has also simplified a lot of things that we used to have to do with older versions of HTML. So we need to define this as an HTML5 document, or truly just an HTML document. So HTML5 has really simplified the tag that we actually need to type here in code. So in order to indicate this as a HTML document, we'll do an opening angle bracket because this is a tag, an exclamation mark, and then lowercase doc type HTML and close the angle bracket. Now, notice when you're writing HTML, you're always going to write your tags with lowercase letters, and they're always going to open with an opening angle bracket and a closing angle bracket. Now, for most tags, you're going to have an opening tag and a closing tag. But this doc type definition, this is one of those rare tags that you only have to do the one opening tag and you don't have to worry about the closing tag. So what this does is it tells the browser that this document is made of HTML. Now, if you were using an older version of HTML, for instance, if I go to File, New, and choose instead of HTML5, let's say XHTML 1.0 strict, which was the language right before this, we can hit create and look at how big that doc type tag is. And it was really hard to get everything correct, so you would just have to have it correct somewhere and copy and paste it. And then you'd have to have this extra line of code, and then this meta character set would be super long, and ours is going to be really simple. So again, this is why we're using HTML5. So now that we've defined our doc type, we need to do the basic structure. With most tags, or the majority of tags, every time you open it, you must close it. So my preferred method when I'm straight hand coding a website is that if I open a tag, I will immediately close it and then start putting the content inside of the two tags. So the one immediately following the doc type is we need to add the tag HTML. And the reason why we do that is we're basically saying everything in between the opening and closing tags is going to be HTML. So we'll go a couple of lines down, do a / to close that HTML tag. Now Dreamweaver automatically assumes you're going to close the one that you just opened. So if you're not using Dreamweaver, you'll have to just type that out. So once we have the two HTML tags in place, we want to put everything in between that we're going to need. So just like a regular human body, the head is on top and the body is from the neck down. The head in an HTML document is stuff that we need so that the browser can understand how to read or present the page, but it's not stuff that the end user usually sees. So let's go ahead and add our head tag. So we're going to open it, and then again, I immediately close it so that I can just make sure that I'm doing everything correctly. So inside of the head, we're also going to have a title tag. And what this title tag does is it basically makes it so that when you're in a browser, let's go ahead and open this. Notice that this one is called Web Design Tutorials, and this one is called Steelhead Skies Guide. These are the titles that it's talking about, kind of the top of the browser window, the title of the browser window, the title of the tab, whatever it may be. So this one, I might want to put basic structure, because that's what this page is about. So once I have the HTML tag, I have the head tag inside of it, and inside of the head tag, I have the title tag. We're almost done with the basic structure of an HTML page. Underneath the head, and you have to make sure that the head is closed before you start this next part, but this is the body. Now, again, once I open it, I must close it, or else I'll have problems when the browser uses it. Now, everything inside this body tag is what the users can see. So if I'm looking back here, all the stuff you see is the browser. So consider this like the head part and the stuff that is in the background that kind of controls the website. And all of this stuff that's in the body is the stuff that we want people to see. So this is where we'll add our headings, our paragraphs, etc. But right now, this is what we need for the basic structure. And I think I actually need to add one more thing, which is that character set tag. So along with the doc type, you need to include this tag, meta, and then we're going to do char set, which is character set. And this is going to help it so that that the browser interprets it correctly. If you were, for instance, designing a website in Russia or in China, you'd have a different character set. So let's do equals, quote, quote, and I always open and close the quotes automatically. And we're going to put in here UTF-8. And I know that doesn't make sense to you, but it's just something you have to have in your website so that it knows to use this character set to interpret this web page. So you need to have this meta character set and this doc type. That's a part of the HTML5. It's a lot easier than what we used to have to do. And then you need the HTML, and inside the HTML you have the opening and closing head and the opening and closing body. Again, users don't see this, but they will see everything inside of the body.